Good afternoon. We're here today at Flint for Real, and we're here to talk today a little bit about the Flint politics as well as Tim's #Flint and the things that we're hoping to accomplish in the city. We have a bunch of topics. As everybody knows, it's been a really wild couple months in the city, so why don't we start by telling us a little bit about #Flint and what you hope to accomplish.
Well, thanks for having me, Shayne. #Flint's really just something that I started because I have an interest in journalism. A friend of mine who actually worked for MLive quite a few years ago pointed out to me that one of the problems we have today is just a lack of oversight of local government, and that's something I see in Flint. I feel like in a lot of instances, the Journal, frankly, and the various news television stations don't seem to ask the questions that I want to have answered. I don't know why that is. I'm not picking on anyone in particular,
Right.
but
I totally agree with you because the news stories you see and hear and read about are all either one-sided or, it's their opinion only. There's no, other side. They don't take everybody into consideration. It's either this or that, and then that's it. You see a 10-second news clip and, there's really a whole life situation being dealt with. Things like that are just... So I agree, we want to get the things that nobody hears about, and, give a different opinion from, everybody in Flint, not just the people who have dinner at Blackstone's, everybody.
right. And I think I met with Eric Mays a few weeks ago, for example, and we're going to be meeting again soon. The Journal and those sort of things, they give them obviously a good opportunity to get like some quick points out, and any politician or anyone in the public eye can use them to help them get their message across, but they don't always have the opportunity to really like flesh it out, and so that's something I'm kind of looking at right now. Less is more. I'm just one of a few guys working on this at the time, so just kind of get in deep with particular people and issues, and to look beyond actually look beyond Eric Mays and look beyond the guys that are always in the headlines and find some of the people that are directly affected to it that don't usually have the opportunity to discuss it. So it's going well, and hopefully we'll keep growing.
That's good. Well, we're going to try to get that out, get everybody to your page. And it's funny that you say Eric Mays because he's a perfect example of how the media portrays you. If they don't like you or they want to discredit you, they don't take, even though all his issues and the things he stands for are absolutely 100% correct, they discredit him, and half the viewers at home think he's a nut job or a drunk, and they paint an ugly picture of him to you don't even pay attention to what he's talking about. So that's...
Well, if you look at our government, there's a system of checks and balances. You have the judicial branch, you have the legislative branch, and within the city, when it comes to like a media and journalistic standpoint, I think we need to have checks and balances, because if all you have is the Journal and they think, well, this guy's a clown,
right.
Who else is going to contradict that? It's just like their word is law.
Right, their viewing audience is going to believe what they tell them, and
have nothing else to go on.
And it's and that's the thing. It's reflected at the polls, and then we deal with the same business as usual in the city. I for one am tired.
And at the same time, right is right. So I'm happy to validate the Journal too, and I think that's valuable as well. So you have the establishment saying that A, B, and C is going on, and then I come along like they're right. ABC is going on, and then people to be like really a consensus building. It's just not one authority on the matter, but the people that are doing the work to dig into it agree.
Exactly. It's just like when you write a paper, having more source is explaining the same point is better. That way you have every sense of what you're talking about. So that's really cool. It brings us into to talk about today. First of all, you know, we're in the middle of election season. It's heating up, and we both agree it's very tight.
Yeah, it's super interesting right now.
Very tight, and you know, just to see in the position that I'm in all the time, you see the divisions, just amazing how divided. You know, one part of town is only going to look at this candidate, and the other one is going to look at this candidate. You know, the valid points that each candidate brings, it doesn't matter right or wrong or lied to. They're going with it. And I think it's a failure to everybody, because there's so many people that are not being represented in the city, and they're the ones feeling the effects of.
Yeah, I mean, politics is always going to be polarized, and that's just the reality of the situation. But I do think that you can always strive for better. I'd like to see somebody whoever wins the election. I hope after November 3rd. When is it? November 3rd. Afterwards, I hope November 4th, whoever's begins the process of trying to bring more people together. You know, it's hard to get federal help. It's hard to get people outside of Flint to help us address things like the north end, the east side. When we ourselves living in the city, the communities around it look at those as words and write them all. You know, why would anybody else extend a hand to help us? We don't. We address it ourselves, and we concentrate our efforts in just pockets. And you know, there needs to be really a spirit of cooperation too. From those communities too, and a lot of times I hear resentment from those areas, the resources being poured into downtown. But I mean, I'm glad we're at where we're at, and I'm glad that downtown has been built.
Because you remember there was a time go downtown was tumbleweeds, just blowing across the street. And I agree. You know, the resources are here. More and more pouring it in. They're here. And it's unfair that some neighborhoods are just devastated. You know, and I've been to neighborhoods on the north end that are still beautiful. You know, for example, like Bar back there, and Lillian. It's amazing. It's like caught in a time.
Yeah, there's this city was built during a period where architecture was really cool. Like the houses are really, there are a lot of really nice houses. There are a lot of good attributes to the city.
Yeah, you see it over in the berry patch over there off of Atherton towards the plant. Berry patch. They look like Brady ones. It's really cool stuff. But you know, and that's the thing. We have these nice houses trying to survive. You know, it brings us to the next issue. The water situation, control. You know, seeing people get choked out, arrested, and you know, just like where I left today, they had the cops come. Anybody makes it, they're going to jail. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's actually. That press conference should be unfolding right now. Really interesting to see what happens. Onger wrote earlier released a story saying basically that we're going to keep using the river. So there's a lot of buzz yesterday. We might be going back to Detroit, but right now that's going to be the case. So hard to comment directly on it. It's such a mess.
And that's the thing. From my understanding, they just they made a mistake. Our infrastructure couldn't handle that over-corrosive river water. And before they put it in, they had to use corrosion control. And that's what we're facing. They made a mistake, and they're not. To me personally, they don't feel like they have to admit that and work with us to change, as well as advisors. Because when I'm driving, taking my son to school, I see trucks drop water at school, and they're begging for water on TV. This this is the medieval times. We shouldn't be doing that. Schools, kids after sports and all that. I play football, and you have water to hit the fountain, but you can't do that. And babies at the hospital are being washed off. Water patients aren't allowed to shower. It's just something's wrong. And just 2 weeks ago they're telling us it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's something I kind of realized when I started getting interested in public administration and politics a few years ago. There's really no small mistakes. We just spent $100 grand on water that could have put two police officers on the street for a year, you know, and maybe one of those officers saved one life. So it's like you gotta be careful not to minimize things. I really, as I get more into this issue, I know Kurt Gaya, the guy who really broke the story for the ACLU, feels very strongly about. No. But emergency managers and what an affront to democracy that is in communities where they're installed in, and now you in the interview I did with Walling, pretty much these decisions were made without involvement, and they were behind closed doors with the emergency managers. Where you can't ask questions now. Where are they? They weren't. They're not. The only people who really are accountable to is Governor Snyder.
Right. And that's the thing that's amazing. We see where it's happening. You can challenge urban communities are getting emergency managers. They're tearing, Muskegon Heights with their school system. Once they found out they weren't going to make money, the private schools, they left them high and dry with their school system in shambles. And then you see it up and down, and you see Snyder on the news, the Michigan taking it across the country to other cities, trying to shop his plan around, which we're right. It takes away all of our rights. Everybody you voted for, everybody who's accountable to your votes. They have no control. So they're left to clean up at our city council meetings. Councilmen say they can't do about it. And you're right. It's undemocratic to say the least. They're not going to honor anything. They don't have to do anything. It's like a corporate raid. Come in, they sell off all your assets, and just dependent outside resources. Then once you don't have any more resources, Flint's different from Detroit. Detroit makes a lot of money. It's internet. Flint, we're up here struggling. So once they sold all our assets off, pretty much just sinking. You see the situation is dire. It's dire. They're squeezing people out that they don't should be here. The old people on fixed incomes, or the families don't have a father or a mother, and they're just squeezing out trying to create this utopia under the master plan, which is 50 years away. It's something else.
Yeah.
That's something that when you're looking at our we can go to talking about the candidates now. Looking at the plans and action. It's just I don't know what to think, because we have a new challenger, Karen Weaver, who some of you may not know, but she's been in the community her whole life. There's schools named after her father. Her mother was the very first African school teacher, and she's been here fighting for mental health and things like that. And we have our current mayor, Dane Wong, who has a plan for everything. You don't know who to believe, because if you can't execute your being under emergency manager.
Yeah, that's one really muddy, as he has a somewhat viable excuse, and that he hasn't always been in control of the city when it's going on. Like whether or not that's a good enough excuse, I guess we'll find out November 3rd. But with Snyder, with Howard Croft, all these guys, who ultimately was entrusted with the decision to say this river water will be okay. We can treat it, and it'll work. And because
From my understanding, they told the DEQ told Flint, we don't think you can do it. But if you can, you have to prove it and show us. They said we can, and
the DEQ needs to come out, state that.
I think that's what's going on today. As well as at first we're hearing that it wasn't my fault. It was Darnell. And then once earlier, they said no, thank you. Everything was in place by the city council, and I just went along with it.
Well, one thing Walling did say is that he and the city council he'll take credit, blame, whatever for going to Carrignat. That was something that they collectively were for. Now the interim period Flint River. He's saying we had nothing to do with it. He thought that the KPA was the best long-term source because of the KWA. I always wanted to put pipes, water. KWA was the best long-term source based on just what it was going to cost, prices. But he went there like, hey, don't blame us. So who do we? It's really hard. And to me, like saying that's the warning. He is on the board along with Josh Freeman and Sheldon Neely. They're all volunteers on this water board for a profit type operation. When and if you look into it deeper, that's not going to have enough water for the whole state. It's not. So the city is broke up. The infrastructure. Some parts of the city are going to stay on Flint River. So there's that thing, downtown is the only ones at the KWA. And everybody else left to hang. My main thing with the Flint River is, GM had that. They got to get away from. They got to get away, and they buy their water from Genesee County, which Genesee County bought our pipeline to basically it's the old bait and switch. Flint lost their resource, that income source with that pipeline. Now we're stuck with this process where the pipelines it's coming. And there's so much, just like what construction project hasn't been delayed millions of dollars. I can't get a road. I've never seen Miller Road get done as quick as it should. We'll be done in August or next March. You know what I mean? So they say 26, but I have no. And I did see in the Ron Fonger part of that was that part of the little one of the bullet points was that in the press conference today they would say they would try to expedite that process. But there's no guarantees, and there's so much into that because there's substantial amount of property that belongs to Don Williamson that the KWA is going to run through. And there's so much involved, and I just think that if these situations were thoroughly investigated, which I think they are. The EPA is supposed to be here investigating now, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the feds come into the mayor's office, and wouldn't that be something? Cuffle downtown. Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't know.
And that brings us to why we want to step into this. This is a big mess, kind of like the Obama situation. You're getting ready to inherit a very big problem. Big problem. Because I've talked to people who feel like Flint is not even going to be here in 5 years, 10 years, because the legacy laws, and all these things are going to bankrupt. They're going to be out of business. And who knows what's happening now? Because if you follow things on Facebook, there's pregnant 6-month pregnant wondering. I've talked to people on the street that said I drink the water every day. I thought it was fine.
You hear about the scariest that I hear to sum it up is that it takes not all that much lead to cause irreversible. That's like so when Miss Weaver's out there saying like we need basically FEMA and FEMA. We need like an emergency. Like I'm wondering like part of me's like oh that's just but then part of me's legit. We really need that.
The flood advisory from the city, and then yesterday the county put us up to emergency status. That's serious. They don't have this. This is not Mexico. We should have clean water. And the point that I've been. If this was West Bloomfield or Beverly Hills, Michigan, Royal, I don't think we'd be talking about at all. It'd be already fixed. They wouldn't have subjected us to water. Whoever thought it was a good idea in the first place, crazy. Just think of all the years GM before there was regulations. It didn't come in with EPA regulations till the 70s. The sit-down strike was in the 30s, all the time before that, and up to the 70s. Who knows?
I remember back when I was in college over at Mott in the 80s. There was a woman professor over there. She was one of the science teachers. I can't remember her name, but there's Gilkey Creek runs through Crisley Park, but also goes through the campus here at U of Mott. And she goes, you see that creek out there? She goes, yeah. And I said, yeah. She goes, before me and my husband got active in it, they were into the environmental protection and stuff like that. In the 70s, they're kind of the environmental warriors, I guess. She goes, each day that would be a different color. That creek. When I was in high school, I graduated. We went to Flint Central. We used to go out to Gilkey Creek and test the water. Well, me and my friends actually tested for different things. We had different metals. We actually found arsenic, cyanide present in the water. And so anyway, the next day we went by and back to it.
That's not good.
No, that's definitely there's no allowable amounts in that. And what it was, our teacher saw that. He saw the results, so he knows we got a positive result on it. So he said, go back and test it again. And by that next time, what it is, it's not a soluble. It just basically stays and just floats downstream wherever it's going. Somewhere, that was back in 81. I graduated. So that was we were like, should we call the EPA? Well, tomorrow we'll go back and do another test, see if it's still present. So it just made an intermittent release, but that's still devastating. That small amount's not supposed to be in that creek water at all. That's not something that should be in water at all. No way. This is deadly.
Exactly. And the future of this city is the children. And just to these people are not protected or represented. And they're the ones going to be hurt 6 and under are the people that are affected by poison. Who knows? Because I live behind the station over there on the west side, and my water's been fine up until the other night. I'm running my shower after a shave, and it's just orange juice. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get it. So I get out, I dry off with a white towel, and I've been talking so much about it. I've never been affected. And it was gross.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Real quick. You mentioned about kids really don't have any opportunity to protect themselves. What about people in Tennessee County?
Right.
The jail. I'm curious. I have no idea. Are they having a drink that? Because that's ridiculous. You got
filters in the jail. They're not even talking about it. City lockup. They
have no choice.
They still have their rights.
Has the jail been tested? I want to know that. And if they have, what are the results of that testing? And if they are outside the threshold for safe water. If you get a misdemeanor, you got to serve in jail. You're not good enough for clean water. What's the thinking? And if they are within the threshold, then say it. Be like, you all to know. These clowns are okay.
Right. Yeah. These are the points that are not being raised. It seems like personally, they're just spinning because it's been 8 days since Hurley announced that this is too much. babies formula, pregnant mothers drinking, and on top of it, Monday night they were very upset because they've lost so much revenue because people aren't paying. It's horrible how he's so upset about that. I don't think anybody should pay.
Right. What would you expect?
And like I was telling, they said word got out that the judge had ruled. So it brings me to another point about this. Before all this, July 9th, Mr. Walling was on TV with his own cup saying every day. And they know then, and up till all last school year, the kids were being subjected to this water. They know then, who was responsible for it. Not telling us, making us aware, or giving us a choice. We are in the process of this. We advise bring your own water.
I'd like to know this. This is a private corporation that was known to actually be sending out this dangerous product to its customers. The government be screaming bloody murder. Well, that's on the hands of a government. Where's that outrage? Where's that attack about driven by profits or whatever? And it is driven by profits for the government as well. And they should address the regular company could not got away with it. Private stock company or whatever could not got away with it. We permit government to get away. Well, there's due process. We got to have hearings. They would not have that kind of obstacles for a regular business. If these were putting people in harm's way, like our water supply, the city, county, Michigan, whoever it is, who is allowed to do. This would be a private company. They'd be on their way to a lawsuit, and the corporation fine.
So there's just that's what amazes me. It feels like we're in a media world, spin, and now their plan is to hand out 4,000 water filters tomorrow. So make sure you get there because they were handing out water and it was going 20 minutes. They're supposed to hand it out for 2 hours. They had enough, but it was on cars. They had car backed up.
I heard GM made some $50,000. What was it for the schools? For the schools, people are applauding. And you know what? It's about damn time. I don't think like. I'm not going to go out of my way to pat him on the back for this. And I don't think GM's the devil for pulling out of Flint. But they had a lot of success in the city, and they could look out here. Throw a little bit of we're talking about the water. We're not talking about building statues on Saginaw. This is pretty important. So thank you, GM, and don't put your pocketbook away just yet.
No, because who knows what they're going to find. And that's the thing. Why were they allowed to leave? They made sure that they were allowed to leave. Stop using water for their parks. That should have been the warning. It's
not good for our car park drink up.
So we want out. And never mind you. And that's the ugly part of it when we bring up this pipeline situation. They just can't let that funding go. That's why they refuse. Even after emergency. I mean, a little kid drink a glass and fall down and I don't think they're going to go back because they want that funding. And it just blows my mind that Flint, we have such a bad reputation for violence, gun deaths. You're gonna shot.
I know, and that's I've been right, one way or another, you're getting less. So and that's one thing I've really thought about is like. Man, this is so overshadowing like really a bigger problem. And it's not a bigger problem right now, but in the great scheme, we're not even talking about the violence or the whole. We're not talking about anything. You know what I mean? And I'll say this. I know there's this press conference going on, and what I want, and I matter what I want, but these guys are going to walk away from catering feeling their job is done. And it's like you still don't have enough. No matter what you say in this half hour, how many of you guys get up on the podium and give your spiels? Right, man. We don't don't go away. You know. Part of your job is to protect and educate us, right, help people understand. Can we get some kind of clarity on any one of these myriad issues that comes under the water umbrella? Just start digging away at this.
And it brings me back to that's her point as a mental health expert. You never know what the damage has been. Is that why a guy because you insult his mother, it's okay to go shoot you dead? You step on his shoes, you take your life. Is the imbalance in people's thinking that has gotten so out of control to the lead problem, and then just think of that mental health, all your medication. When you go into mental health, the first thing they do is stabilize your medication. So you can't be stabilized when there's that unknown player, that lead in there, making them brain waves and medicine not do what it's supposed to.
No little mistakes.
And one of the things that they say they're going to hire police, but right now they're offering $14 an hour with no benefit to be a police officer. Who's going to take when you can go make more at Walmart, McDonald's pretty soon than be a police officer? Right. What's this master plan? Cut everybody out. As soon as bankruptcy, police are gone. Every county, city operations done. It's just we're stuck here in the city that I love. I love Flint. It's unlike any other. See the way it's torn down. The whole neighborhood. You go down Baltimore, Philadelphia, and just see every one of those homes. Thinking back was a nice factory family. Now it's just gone.
Wood chips,
and groundhog taking over the area. So there's things that people need to be aware of, and that's today's the start of this show, and I'm going to try everybody I can. I'm get all the people who have been fighting for the city. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of people that still care, and they want to save the city. We don't want to see it dissolve and become part of Grand Blanc.
Right.
Because that's what I always use as a reference to people who live here. It's Flint, and then you cruise down a little bit, you start seeing a little bit more police and Burton, and then you get to Grand Blanc.
You better not have a headlight out.
They're going to get you out of your car, search you. And it's just this isn't how it should be.
Right.
This isn't the old west, war-torn Syria. We're refugees in our own city, and it's and even breaking it down to the homeless that are looking at the warmings on floors and things like that. We can do better.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope man. I hope you do. Some people in here talking because I think there just needs to be a spirit cooperation among the well-intentioned. I know you have those to do good, to see good things happen. So people who are like-minded, whether or not your agendas line up perfectly, come in, talk, get it out there, chop it up.
Tell us what we got. Tell us what we don't know, because there's so many assumptions. If you take it as you do everybody's face, because people who support Walling have this other idea that's so great and all that, but then again you go into Halo Burger and you just can't have a pot with your Halo Burger.
Which is something I think I want to dig into the next couple of days. What are these restaurants doing? What are your letters? Don't be surprised if I come and ask.
I was on yesterday, and Lunch Studio's got a sign right up there that they're using Culligan.
Okay.
Says water. I mean, the bad things from the water. If that's one thing you're safe, we know that they're out there saying they're using it. I believe Tracy's.
No, I'm take everybody at their word, face value. Like, if any restaurant manager, owner down there, we got to handle. That's cool. I'm not going to doubt it, but I am curious. Did you get Did you get tested? What was the level? What are you doing? Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. Let's let people know that.
People know. Give them an option. That's what I.
Because frankly, if I was a business owner, I owned a restaurant downtown, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, people are going to Burton to eat because they, right. So I don't mean to make them the bad guys. But I am curious. How are they dealing with that?
Cafe Rima, how are you making your coffee?
Right. Your espresso machine is hooked right up to that.
City line. Yeah. Those slot machines. There's water.
That fountain soda.
So there's things that are
we have surge soda. We have orange Coke. We have orange root beer.
Right. We have Flint
soda.
Exactly. The thing is, I just and I knew I just asked the principal of my son's school, Anderson, and I said, we're not on water. She said, no way, this is Grand Blanc. We would never deal with a problem like that. And I was just thinking that's the whole attitude of this community, because most of our leaders don't even live in this city. They live outside.
That's not.
It's not right. It's not right. That's one of the responsibilities of this charter review committee. I'm gonna go after them, try to get them to show us these things right, because that's the way it used to be. Flint police. Our chief doesn't even live in Flint. So what's the deal? Are you going to be invested in this city and you're not invested taxes? So things that we're looking to do, and thanks for being the guest.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Flint for real with Shayne and Flint. We're going to try to get to the bottom of these situations with the real people, leaders of the city, as well as the people who are just renters. Who you are, if you're part of Flint, we want to get you, and if you like our pages, and go from there. And see what we can do.
Okay, I'll be remiss. Somebody wants to get hold of because they feel like they haven't been heard. Can they contact you guys? One of you guys, maybe have them through Facebook, other places they can contact you.
Yep, you can contact me on Facebook. Just look me up. Profile Shayne Hodges. After today, we'll get to the show, and I'm sure.
Yeah, we're easy to find, right, John? All Points TV, Shayne Hodges, Galbraith, hashtag Twitter, Facebook, hashtag Flint.com. We're not.
Yeah, and also we have the Ronald Berry Robinson has a show called In My Opinion, that's public access. They brought in the drain commissioner a couple months ago, and also they covered it recently too. So if you want to on channel 17 on public access, RBR IMO YouTube channel. Also his shows are seen also on All Points TV. So we want people to know that we are generally trying to reach out more than I think mainstream media has done. They're trying to get more of you people that actually be able to have a voice.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, and don't drink the water.